Today's episode of Fixing Bugs and Stuff, we're going to start looking at this 1600 fuel injection. We're going to see how well it is. Well, as you can see here, when they painted the car, obviously the engine was in the car. So you can see the white there. I'm going to check the oil, see where we're at. All right, to me, there's no oil on it. That's not good. Water got in there, that's even worse. And you can see it's rusted here. It's rusted on the pulley, but that doesn't mean anything. It's rusted on the belt. But that's okay. I'm gonna get a wrench on it. Oh, it seems kind of tight. You can hear that. Sounds like the fan is rubbing in the back. So we're gonna take this off. All right, let's take this off. Okay, now let's turn it. Feels kind of tight. So when you guys look at engines in a car, you want to be able to turn this not just back and forth. We're going to turn it 360 degrees. That's how you know if anything's wrong with the internals of the car or the engine. I recommend a total teardown on this to see what's going on. I'm afraid that the rings, like I said, got some rust on them. But see, there's no restrictions. It's free moving. So maybe something it's not on there right. That's why the fan was kind of hitting in the back, so that needs to be fixed. So we'll continue on. I'll see if I can start picking this apart. See what I get. First thing we're gonna do is take off some of these hoses here. Okay, should be loose. It will take off. Go. You might want to keep this. If you have like dual carbs, or you want to set this up, you might be able to bend this. I've done it before. You just have to be very careful. This is a nice gas line for dual carbs. Yeah, part of the reason why the fan was rubbing, because there's no bolt here. You guys can see. Bolt missing. So this thing's gonna rock back and forth pretty easily. Should be able to hold it down. So that's why I'm gonna take off the fan shroud. So what I have left over here, the 10 millimeter, just gotta loosen it, and the whole fan shroud should come right off. Oh yeah, don't forget the strap here. This is interesting. They used you see that there? Phillips heads for that. Interesting. I've seen all kinds of stuff being used to hold on to the alternator. So the fan shroud should come right off. Just like that. Now before you take off the fan shroud, make sure it doesn't have the thermostat. You're gonna rip that apart. And I could tell it didn't have it. There's a lot of things missing on this engine anyway. So, believe it or not, this whole thing, this whole fuel injection system, it's all connected, meaning that the intake here is part of this here, the actual stand for the alternator. It's all one big piece. So I really have to take off the intakes, and this whole thing will come out. We're going to replace this anyway. So first things first, we're going to take off the injectors, and it's just a 10 millimeter bolt here that actually holds both injectors on, and that's very loose. And my light went out. Hold on. Okay, we're back in business. So take the 10 millimeter, they come out, and believe it or not, this is the only thing that holds the injectors on. The injectors should come right out. It's gonna fight me. Everything's dry rotted, like all the hoses dry rotted. So if we were to run the fuel injection, it would be spewing fuel everywhere. There you go. So these are the injectors, and don't they look lovely? Oh boy. We have to do the same on the other side. I'm not going to show you guys that. It's pretty repetitive. So I'll take the other side off. See, there's more signs of rust here. It's been sitting out. Same thing on the other side. Got rust on that nut too. Just a lot of exposure. I mean, this is not rust from exposure. It's basically rust from water sitting on here or hitting it. So let's see. Oh man, that's really loose. That's not even torque, man. I'm using a 1/4 inch. Take these off, and that's really loose. Somebody just slapped this engine together and didn't give it much thought. Unfortunately, believe it or not, that's what happens a lot. So this guy's on there a little tight. It was pulling out the whole stud, and it's kind of rusted on there. Okay, it's there. Start looking at this side. That's very loose. That wasn't even on there. Those of you who have fuel injection and they're running well for you, great, man. Use it. But if you start chasing your tail on some of this stuff, it's not worth it. Gotta get a wobbly bit. Wobbly. Boy, that wasn't on there at all. Good grief. That's that side. I was missing a bolt as well. What's going on there? Again, another Phillips head. Strange. Never seen that before. That's my first. Now, technically, you can lift this up. Should be ready to go. Unless I'm missing something. I'll take this off first. Give us better room. Man, this thing is really dry rotted. Ugh. I wanted to stop and take a look. Look at this here. That's water. It's water sitting inside of there. Now, mind you, this has not been in the rain since it's been in my care or my possession. So water's been sitting there and it's got rust in it. Not good. You can see there's remnants or evidence of rust. I can see, okay, maybe a couple weeks, a month, it wouldn't have this kind of rust. This is from a good amount of exposure to water. Big time. And then there's, I don't know what it is, but there's mud in here too. So this is not looking good at all. I'm definitely gonna have to talk to the customer about this. It's a shame. Whoever did the rebuild should have taken better care. Let's see in here. Yeah, that's all. It has evidence of rust in that as well. So like I said, I think everything went through throttle body, water went down and got into the intake. Now if that happens, then I'm sure the valves are dirty. Look, there's a big thing of mud in there. That is crazy. Big thing of mud. Oh. All right, we're gonna take this down further. It's just a mystery, and it's a shame for the customer too. He thought he was getting a rebuilt engine, which he probably was, but it just wasn't taken care of properly. So that takes months and months and months for rust to build up like that. I know I'm rambling on about the rust. Okay, guys, I need to take this body off, and I was just rambling on. I didn't tell you. So what you have to do on this, there are 4 of these. The fourth one's inside of here. It's inside of here. You take half the body. Show you. Take half this body off. Well, actually, this half of the body off, and you can get to it. Okay, on this side, I took off this guy here. This is for the oil fill tube, and I think they're pretty cool. I mean, they're pretty nice. I mean, I wish she had these on the carburetor ones, but I just took it off just to take a look and see how things are. It's a little bit of dirt in there. It's not a little bit, there's a lot of dirt in there. For a rebuild, this is not what it should be, unfortunately. Okay, I got all these 10mm nuts out of here. This is already separating. I'm gonna take this off. A lot of this, I mean, these nuts were tight, but this guy was not tight at all. And you can see it's got that junk in it. Let me show you. Look at all that junk inside of there. That shouldn't be. Oh, so this should just come right out, just like that. And look what's inside of there. Ooh, it's nasty corrosion. That's all that is, just corrosion. Exposure to water. Okay. Now here's the nut I was talking about inside. It's right there. Try to get a close up of it. You guys see it? It's right in there. It's a 13mm. That's the last nut that holds the oil filler tube. I'll pull that puppy out. Hopefully it's not too bad in there. Fuel injection, you gotta love it, huh? You're telling me that these guys put this thing back, the whole stud's moving with it. All right, so as I'm lifting, I have to unscrew that nut that's back here. You can see what I'm talking about. Remember I told you about that nut back here, so you have to lift and then unscrew. And then this whole thing comes out. Again, I'll show it to you. One more time. Oh, disgusting. All right. So I am going to switch over here. I want to take this off. You guys know what this is for. This is for the oil, keep the oil from blowing back. Here's a quick question for you guys. Is this facing the right way? Let me know in the comments if this is correct. For a newly built engine that's got a lot of junk on it, so I am calling bogus on this. Yeah, it seems like when they put silicone on here, it's the red stuff. So that's pretty thick. If it's that thick out here, I wonder if it's thick inside and fell inside of the case. If that's what happens, then it'll get inside of your oil galleys. It'll clog it up, and then you'll burn up the engine pretty quick. Pretty quick. So this is where we're going to stop at this point. I got to get a hold of the customer. Again, very little oil, if any, at the bottom tip. You guys can see that. I don't know if it leaked out at any given time, but this is at the point where I would stop and then I would add the carbureted system to this. Again, I would get rid of all the emissions stuff, like this kind of stuff will go away. There's not much anything else. But if you're going to switch from a fuel injection to carbureted, you have to have it at this point. So that's basically it. Let me know what you guys think. Unfortunately, water has gotten in here, and I want to reiterate that this rust is really built up big time, and that's not from a day or two or a month or two. That's longer than a couple months of build up rust from water. I'll tell you that right now. So, yeah, let's check this out. It has these spacers here, which are really nice. If you have these, if you can find these are great for like dual carbs. This will keep the heat, separates the heat from the actual manifold. That way, there's no heat soak. So these are pretty nice to have if you have dual carbs. You see that there? They put both of these gaskets on there, which is good. That's the way you're supposed to do it. One on top of the other. So yeah, fortunately, there's no water in there, and these look kind of clean. So, let's see, make sure it's on this side too. Yep, got them here. It's pretty smart. BMW doing that. Having these spacers. Should be phenolic. This doesn't transfer heat at all. Be careful taking these out. I've cut myself a million times. So, anyway, please subscribe, like, and comment. We're going to stop at this point, and let me know what you think. Have a good one.